Hey Carson, what's up? It's Dan. Hopefully you're doing all right. I see your posts and everything. Awesome as usual. Awesome posts. I was gonna talk to you, bro. Like seriously, I don't get what's going on between us, man. I don't understand what's going on after, uh, being friends, helping each other, working together. Knowing the fact that we both are Christians, um like having a Christian relationships, like you actually talk about everything in your posts, kind of touching a little bit about Christian relationships, um but go and research Christian relationships with people, especially other Christians, because honestly you totally forget about that, man. You totally forgot about how, besides, of course, the first place is loving God, loving His Word, reading His Word, praying to Him, going to church, worshiping God, everything. But the second part is something that shows us as Christians. And Jesus was talking about it, right? Jesus was talking about, if we, as as we as his disciples, are as his children, love one another. That would be the sign that we are his disciples. Yeah, right? But if we envy each other, if we hate each other, if we build up stuff about one another, like what I mean. Like I'll talk about this in a little bit. If we can't settle the argument, if we just go apart and let devil break us apart, for example, right? Us meaning like anybody, could be person A, person B, if you want to call it that way. That's not a Christian. That's not being a Christian. That's not who Christians really are. And unfortunately, especially right now, it's a time where even churches fight, and that's ridiculous. And Jesus was talking about that way in like 2000, more than 2000 years ago. Jesus was talking about that this is about to happen. And if we should be alert. Remember how Jesus was praying in the garden, and what was he saying and asking his disciples to do? To be alert, to be with him, right? And they kept on falling asleep. One time, second time, they kept on falling asleep. So, what I'm challenging you, what I want to challenge you is find scriptures about the relationship between people, between brothers and sisters. What relationships should we have, and what relationship we should not have. And I list some of that on my TikTok. In the header there, there's some scriptures about that, about the loving your neighbor, loving your brother or sister, having something against your brother or sister, having conflicts. How do you resolve conflicts and all that stuff? It's everything in the God's word, man, and you just don't read it for some reason. You skip it. Going straight down to those verses and read it, bro, because I am down to actually getting a call and talking about and solving this thing, all the whole thing that we have is solvable like this. I'm telling you, because we didn't have really anything, absolutely anything. What happened? Look, I'll put out the order of things happening, and you'll see at which point you could be a one to stop the conflict, and which point I could be the one to stop the conflict, which I was trying to do my best. I was trying my best to stop the conflict, but you kind of went on and on and on and on with it rather than resolving it. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe I don't know why did it happen. But let me put up in the order, right? Here we go. So as you know, I found you on I think Instagram or YouTube, some kind of live stream, and I really needed a coach. So I found you, I subscribed to you, and then I found out that you actually do coaching, that you offer coaching, and I signed up for coaching. If you remember, It was a group coaching I chose. You asked me all those questions. You chose the group coaching. Then I was in the group. Then I was working with you, and you really, really, really helped me, and I really appreciate that, bro. Because I was in serious health risk. I was pre-diabetic, or whatever it's called, pre-diabetic, almost had diabetes, but I'm not diabetic anymore, not even close. I waited 308 pounds, and after us training, like 3 months of us training, I lost over 23 pounds. 23, 24, I don't remember the exact amount, but I lost 23 pounds, right? So, and I said, I really appreciate that fact, and I really appreciate the fact that I lost that weight, because that really benefited my health. Uh, so everything was good. Then you got me, then I helped you with the computer. I'm not talking about Tom right now. Tom, I mean, you know which Tom. I don't want to talk about him. If it hurts you to hear about him, I don't want to talk about him. I don't appreciate what he has done, if it was true. But what I'm saying is, I helped you with a computer, right? I offered you help. If you remember, we spent the whole, pretty much, once you got the computer, once you picked it up, we spent a good amount of time of setting up computer, transferring files, transferring your programs. If you remember, we were transferring I think, some kind of programs that were on your mom's account. We were transferring on your computer. We were working out. I was doing my best. I was doing my work. Work that I get paid for. Support, online support, you're right? So I was doing my work, but I was doing it for free. Why for free? Because number one, you were coaching me for free, right? Number two, I don't remember exactly when you got me on board to work for you. Before you got the computer or after I got the computer. I think it was before. Uh, you know, um, Before you got the computer. I helped you with the computer later. So you got me on board to work for you. I did it with big pleasure. I did it with big heart and big pleasure. And I will tell you honestly something about me. I am an honest person. I am an honest person. When it comes to some kind of unfairness, I see that. I see that, and I try to, but before I blame somebody, right? I was taught when I was little that before blaming somebody, you need to find out if that's true about them, right? So I was trying my best when well, if you remember what happened, right? I was working for you, and we were doing the polls, and I got to know Neil through those polls, and I was talking to Neil, and I was actually interviewing him. I had no idea whether or not you knew Neil, um, as well as all those people who we were messaging. I had no idea, right? But I got to know Neil, and I saw what Neil was asking after our interview, after our things. I saw what Neil was asking, and you said, Stan, just don't talk to him. Tell him that we only do training here. If he doesn't want a training, then we're sorry. We're gonna move on. You remember you telling me that. Then apparently, after all this thing, after you remember you pushing me to work to actually message them, because we had no choice. We had to message them in some kind of framework, that time frame that you had. We had to just message the polls, because then they disappear. You remember you were saying that. So I was using my vision. I was going through the pain with my eyes. I was using one good eye, which is this eye, to do everything. I told you multiple times, and I was like, no, I can't put Carson down. I have to work. I can't put them down. Yes, I might say, well, I have my own stuff to do. I have homework to do. I have band practices to do. I have, computer work to do for someone. I have this. I have that. I have video to make. Of this, I could come up with, a lot of excuses, but the reality of this, I understand. I promise to help you, and I want to help you because, number one, not because you're just training me and I'm kind of like, you're training me, I'm working for you. No, I was doing it with big heart as to a friend. That's a big thing. I gave it my heart. That's different. I gave it my heart. Remember when you came to me, and I'm sorry this is public, but Remember, came to me, uh, and you shared something with me, something that happened to you. Remember, like in the beginning, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna publicize, but you probably know. And you felt broken. You felt broken. You felt sad, upset. You came to me, kind of like sharing it with me, crying on my shoulder about that. And I was there for you because I felt your heart, because I felt your pain, because that's how Christians are. As Apostle Paul was saying in 1 Corinthians, I believe, right? 1 Corinthians 13. If one member of the body is suffering, the whole body suffers. The whole body feels pain. That's how it is. That's how it should be in Christianity, right? So if you suffer through something, I have a pain in my heart for you, and I'm praying for you. I'm crying. I'm weeping for you. I'm with you on that, right? So I'm giving my heart. So I want you to understand that thing. I want you to really, really, really feel it right now, and I want you to really understand how I feel. And well, probably you felt that way when that happened, right? You know what I'm talking about. Like earlier, uh, it. It had to do with somebody that you shared with me. No, no, not most recent, but way back, way back. Remember? You went to some kind of sport game, sport event, and you told me about what was going on. Exactly, exactly. And then you asked me, and you asked Thomas to pray about it. Remember? My heart was in pain because you were going through pain. I couldn't say, I don't care. I don't care. It's his life, I don't care. No, I'm not that kind of person, bro. I feel it. I feel the pain. So going back, sorry for spending like kind of like a couple minutes here, but I want you to understand that this is a main thing, right? So I gave the work, I gave the 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 job, that you gave me. I gave my heart to it. And as I said, I'm an honest person, right? And if I see something happening, like all of a sudden, while I'm working for you, while I'm doing my job, while I'm going to the gym, I kept on asking you, Carson, my app is empty. My fitness app, the one that you downloaded, was empty. I had no idea what to do. I'm going to the gym, I'm doing the same thing. At the times I felt, oh, it's easy, I'll just do it. But maybe I should have changed something. Maybe change weight, maybe change reps, maybe change value, maybe like whatever. Maybe you promised me a lot of things when I signed up. You said, like you always promise to your customers, right? Food plan, whatever food meal you asked, you even promised to help me out with paying out the debts, right? Meaning like giving me suggestions. I'm not saying money wise, but you helped me money wise too. Remember that one time when you got a customer and you said, Stan, if we got this customer, I'm gonna pay you 100, and you did. Remember? Yeah. So you helped me. I really appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate it. I really take it. Not. I'm not taking it. Oh yeah, Carson owes me money. No, I'm not taking it like this. I really mean it. Okay, I really mean it. So every thing between on my side, everything that I was doing for you, I didn't do it just okay. I gotta do it because Carson is not gonna train me or something if I don't do it. No, I was doing it even if you would not train me. I would still do my job. That's me. That's who I am. But but uh, at the same time, right? At the same time, uh, I was not getting the results I wanted to see. Remember the fitness goals that you always say, what is your fitness goal? What is your fitness goal? I was not reaching my goals. I hit the plateau. Stuck on the same weight, and I'm still on the same weight. I did lose a little bit of weight when I went to Mexico, like 5 or a couple pounds. Yes, because I was playing volleyball and all that stuff. I did lose a little bit, but I'm here. I don't have volleyball here. I have a gym at which I hurt my both elbows, probably overdoing the curls. Probably because they always say do, and everybody says, not just you, do till failure, right? Do the reps. Maybe I did the reps wrong. I have no idea. I have no clue, but I had a serious injury to my back, serious injury to my elbows. that happened later. But what I'm saying is, I needed some guidance and I needed some help from you as a coach, as a friend, and as a coach, whatever you want to say. And I couldn't get a hold of you. And that Neil guy pretty much took, uh, took our friendship away, basically. He destroyed our friendship. Why? Because number one, remember the first incident with Neil, when I simply responded in your behalf, said I'm going to bed, call you in the morning, because he kept on what? He kept on bringing my iPad, um, and I just did my job. You said Stan message. How do I know who Neil is? How do I know who that person is? I don't know who that person is. And that person keeps on calling and keeps on calling and keeps on calling and keeps on calling. So you say I should have left the iPad ringing and wake everybody up in the house? No, of course. Do I want to turn it off? No, because then I will not be staying constant with what I was doing for your work. So I kept it on. In fact, I had the smaller iPad. I had the smaller iPad, which was like $300 for the iPad. Remember how I was saying that my phone is kind of small and I could not see the things, and that the if we can transfer the work to the iPad. Remember I was asking you, and we transferred from the iPad. I bought this 1,100 whatever dollars iPad for this work. I bought this iPad just for this work. I traded in my iPad. They gave me like 200 something for it, and I got this one, bigger iPad, just for the work. All right. So uh, then what happened? Long story short, Neil messaged me, right, and you remember the story. I don't have to go through it. And you kind of went on his side, and you're kind of, I told you not to message, and you broke the boundaries, blah 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 blah. I said, look, I was doing work. I was doing work. How did I break the boundaries? I was doing my job. I was being you. If I am you on your app, I am you. And if I am you, Carson, you will know everything I've done on the app as if you were done it. So it's not my fault that you didn't play along with that. Meaning like, meaning like, okay, so I said I'm going to bed, right, to Neil. You could have just picked it up and say, yeah, I was really going to bed. That's why I didn't respond. I thought I told you that I'm going to bed. No problem. Absolutely no problem. But you went and said, well, it was not me. It was somebody else who's working for me and stuff like that. You pretty much, what you've done there, you pretty much, well, I would say ruined the, like, what do you call it? The fact that somebody else is working for you. Nobody knows that people are working for you, right? Only me and you and people who are working for you know, right? But in reality, when we respond as you. We're not saying I'm Stan, I'm Carson's friend, I'm helping him out, so I'm gonna interview you. No, we are doing it from you. So, but whoever that person is who's typing the responses, and remember how that Lithuanian guy was going over and over and over, sometimes in the loops, and sometimes he was saying things not the way you would say it, and I told you that's not the way you would say it. Remember how I was keeping up the same format because people need to know that it's you, right? Because you check out every time we message on the app, you check it out, and you kind of follow the same chat because it's really your chat, And we were not like, I was not ruining anything. I was just saying like, hey, I'm going to bed. Well, you could have picked it up and you would not have this first problem with Neil. Second problem with Neil, when remember how I started saying that I started missing up the exercises on the app. Like I go to the app and I miss the exercises, and I kept on saying, Carson, the app is empty. Carson, the app is empty. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm hurting myself probably in the gym, which I ended up having, right? Tennis elbow, probably As I said, overdone curls or something wrong. And I'm not losing weight. There's no effect. I'm training. I'm working for you. I'm training, but I'm not seeing the results. What do we do? And people in the gym, remember, you even yelled at me, and I appreciate you yelling at me for that time, where I really paid the gym to train me, and they ended up scamming me. And you were like, Stan, why did you pay the gym? you know, that was a reasonable, argument that she said. Stan, why did you go with the gym? But hey, on at the same time, you made me go there because like I was not training, and I didn't want to stop training. I didn't want to gain the weight back, and I didn't want to get the risk of having the heart attack or something, or a cardiac arrest or whatever, the whatever that called, um, the diabetes. Right, I didn't want to have that back, so I want to keep on training. So I was looking for the coach. At which point, you were not really coaching me. Absolutely. While I was working for you, and you were not coaching me. And then this whole thing about Neil, where Neil started to get to know more information than me, who's your friend, that you're coming to New York, that you're going to New Jersey, that your sister's wedding or whatever. You started, Neil, you started sharing with Neil everything, like if he is your like number one friend, which, like the way you talked about Neil, that Neil was your customer whom you train. But I always thought that you deal with us more. Me and Thomas, Thomas believes you deal with us more than with, customers, and you share with us more than with somebody who's a customer, especially if that customer was disrespectful to me in the beginning, to one of your workers and friends. So Neil, I had to go and I see notifications, and I told you I saw notifications. I was not lying. I saw notifications popping up on my screen, boom, 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 and some weird ones. So I mean, I want to make sure that you're safe. I'm your friend, and I'm worrying for you. I'm caring for you, and I just click on the notification, and the chat window opened, like the chat section opened. So I read notifications, true. I didn't lie to you about that. And I read the chat, of course, because it was worrying. And I told you why I read the chat. It was worrying for me. I want to make sure that you're safe. I want to make sure, especially with Neil, I don't want to, with those people, and I kind of mad those people on Facebook and on Instagram where they're asking you for money. They're kind of like, let's call it sextortion, when people say, I have your information, I have your this, if you don't pay me, I will post your content out or something like that. I will Photoshop it, I will edit it and make you look wrong and make you look perverted and post it, blah, 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 blah. They're asking everything for money. So I was just worrying that Neil would do that to you, right? And I had to read the chats to make sure that some of them, to make sure that you're safe, for your safety. Nobody would know that I read the chats. Well, since you already said to Neil again, you put out us, that we read the chats. If you would say, yes, I read the chats, yeah, you read the chats. Because really, again, on your app is only you reading the chats. Nobody else reads the chats, right? Well, I'm your eyes and I'm your fingers who type the message, right? I am being you. I'm not being a totally different person. I'm being you. I'm being Carson on the app. If you represented me, if you said, Stan, you are my representative. And when you text people, you say, I'm Stan, I'm helping Carson, blah, 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 blah. But that would be different. But if you said that you were Carson, and I'm texting the people from Carson, you get what I'm saying, right? You probably get what I'm saying. I don't want to explain it over and over again, and over again. So basically, then what happens? After all this deal, you take the job away and you start offending me, honestly. Like, you start really hurting me by basically saying, you lied, you lied, you lied, you lied. I lied for your benefits. If you want to call it a lie, which I fixed in 2 hours. Didn't I fix the lie in 2 hours? Yes, I did. I repented. I asked for forgiveness. I did say I read the chats. And even when Neil was saying like, okay, our deal with Carson is broken. I don't work with Carson. Carson lost a customer. I was going to Neil and saying, he didn't lose a customer. Neil, it's fine. It's all fine. I'm working for Carson. Blah 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 blah. I was trying to get Neil back for working for you. I was trying to back you up, stick up for you to not lose such a valuable customer as Neil. And all you pay me back with is ignorance. Remember? You even said you saw ignorance, 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 ignorance. And it went to the point where you started asking me about the computer for your for your cousin and all that stuff, and you were kind of like, uh, we're dealing with that. And then I asked you, Carson, so much time passed, like almost a year passed. Do you think you need help? And, I could work for you because I really need coaching. I really need help. At which point you told me something which really offended me. You said, since you don't work for me anymore, I don't coach you anymore. You went that route. You went like, you crossed out the friendship kind of thing. And you said, since you don't work for me anymore, I don't coach you anymore. And I was like, okay, like kind of right. And I was kind of talking to you. But then that day in the gym, I said, Carson, everything that happened is not fair because it keeps on hurting. It keeps on hurting. This whole thing keeps on hurting. What happened that evening? That evening after us talking, what happened? I went on, you know, that's what I'm telling you. I'm not lying. I'm telling you how it was, and I told you. I went in your Instagram. I went in your Instagram, and there, you told me that somebody's helping you. And I went in your Instagram, and my feeling was you broke my heart already, right? You broke my heart. You broke me. You pretty much really offended me, Carson. But I didn't want to lose you as a friend. It doesn't mean that we cannot talk and figure this out. But you offended me, and just some people sometimes they need a stop. Sometimes they need to stop the hassle, stop whatever is going on, and think about something. Like think about the way of treating others. Think about how fair or unfair something is. Analyze things, restructure things. Not just go, run, run, run. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I said, whoever's helping Carson, don't help him right now because I want Carson to learn something from this, right? Because I do, see, like, people think that it's easy to substitute somebody. Oh, just use it's called using and abusing. And I didn't want you to learn to use and abuse people. It's like today you use you as a coach. Tomorrow I will go to LA Fitness, hire a coach, and not forget about you. That's how it felt like. That's what it felt like. You probably would be the same thing. You probably would be offended if you were coaching me, and I said, "Oh, Carson, I'm actually I bought a coaching from LA Fitness." So sorry, I got a new coach. I mean, you would be offended. You would probably feel like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Why did he switch coaches? Uh, it would be so kind of offensive to you, right? I mean, I know how it feels, so I would not ever do this to you. Hold on, let me tell the person I will be right back, and go to. Hold on. I want to check out this. Okay, here. Okay, cool. Okay. So I would never do that to you. I would always play things how it should happen, and then I will do it, right? So that's why I told that person to stop helping you. And what happened then? What happened after this? After me saying that, you blocked me on Instagram. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hear me out right now. If you don't want to listen to the whole things I said before, this is the main thing right now. This is the main offense. You're blocking me on Instagram. I'm not sure if you blocked my phone number. I'm not sure. I don't know. But you're blocking me on Instagram, right? And then, and then, Thomas, Thomas believes, right? Tells me the whole story, what happened to you. Question. This is really important. This is really important here. Again, let me point this out. This is a really important part of a video, audio, whatever you call it. You're blocking me on Instagram, maybe blocking my phone number, blocking Instagram, blocking my phone number. All right? And then Thomas tells me what happened to you. Question. Why didn't you call me and explain what happened to you? You, not Thomas, but you, beforehand. Like it didn't happen the same day, right? It happened before. Why didn't you call me and explain what was been going on? Because my reaction would have been totally different. As I said to you before, and I say again, I have a heart, Carson. I have a heart. Okay? I have a heart. And if somebody is going through something, like you did before, when I mentioned that before, right? In my audio, if somebody is going through something, I am in pain too. And if you would have told me what have happened, not Thomas would tell me, but you would tell me, number one thing what would happen for me, from my side, you come to me and say, Stan, I've been through blah, 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 and share with me your story. I would say, Carson, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you would go through this. I didn't know that you were stressed out, and I didn't know. I understand you, bro. I want to hug you. I want to, I want to pray for you. Let's pray right now. Let's just, I'm here for you 24/7. Totally different order of events would have occurred. I would not mention a job because I'm not the person who's job, accept me. I need job so badly. I don't care what's going on. I need job. I'm not that kind of person, Carson. If I see that somebody is going through something, pain, suffering, whatever it is, sorrows, I don't know what it is, I never actually say, I don't care, just give me my job back. I would never do that. Absolutely. Things would have been different, Carson. Different. But what happened, this is where the offense is. What happened? You blocked me. You passing through Thomas to explain to me what happened to you. Not letting me to actually reply to you and say, Carson, I'm here for you 20%. Not only that, maybe the way Thomas kind of put it in there, that you think that everyone on Instagram, except Thomas, is that. Whatever happened to you. You know what I'm talking about, right? So imagine me. Imagine my heart. Imagine me. While I'm feeling sorry that this has happened to you, while I feel really, really sorry, I really want to come and hug you and say, hey, I'm here for you. Here's my shoulder. You can cry. You can trust me. I really feel that. But at the same time, you thinking that I might be one of them. That's really bad. And that night, I didn't sleep, bro. After that, I started having problems with sleep. You hear me? I started taking pills to fall asleep. Serious pills that probably contributed to me having tennis elbow and a back pain and a whole bunch of other stuff. I can't sleep at night without the pill. I have really stress. I have headaches, eye pain, back pain, muscle pain, joint pain, everything, bro. You broke me pretty much at that point. You broke me. And the thing is that when I watch your posts, like everyday posts you post on Facebook, right? Cool posts. I cannot say anything about bad about them. But you're happy. And you don't want to go back to me and sort out the problem. You feel, like happy. You're smiling. It's cool. It's awesome. It's awesome. But you forgot to resolve things with your brother. And this is what's painful. This is what's it's like you're rejoicing like evilly. It's like not really happy rejoicing, but evilly rejoicing. Like like for example, imagine Thomas believes would come to your house and pretend to be a friend, like he was always Catholic friend, when whatever, believes in God strongly, would rob you, steal the money from you. Imagine that feeling, right now. He comes to your house, robs you. You're not knowing it, or frauds your card somehow, to transfer the money, buys himself a new car or something new car, whatever he needs, new motorbike or whatever, and then posts videos while you're suffering that your best friend did it to you. And he posts a video, guys, I'm here, and Thomas, he posts a video, guys, I'm here to review this awesome bike that I just purchased. This bike has such and such features, or this car has such and such features. And every day he posts videos like, hey guys, if you want to live happy life like me, like having this car and all this smiling, I mean, I'm pretty sure, well, you look at those Thomas's videos, you will feel really pale. It's like you have a wound, and Thomas would just go over this wound one more time, cut it one more time, put salt on it one more time, cut it one more time, and every time you look video at the car at Thomas's videos, constantly it's a constant pain. In other event, you would not feel it, because you would feel Carson, Thomas is happy. He got the new car. Let's say he didn't fraud you, but he got the new car. I mean, God blessed him with the new car. Why not to be happy for him? But you can't be happy for him when he is rejoicing that he stole money from you and bought the car with that money. That's the exact same thing that happens to me. You post so much Christian videos, you post everything, and when I'm in despair, when I'm going through this stress that you caused, no offense, you caused stress, Carson, you did, and I'm going through this, I'm in despair. I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do, bro? What can I do? Well, biblically, what I could do, the best I could do biblically, what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 18. If he doesn't listen, tell somebody else. If he doesn't listen to that somebody else, what to do next? Tell the church, right? Tell the church. So I told the church. I didn't know. You were talking about switching the church. Maybe it's your church. I have no idea. I told the church. Biblically, I told the church. So maybe the church would hear us both out. My side of the story, your side of the story, the pastor of the church, or somebody who deals with it, and will help us resolve the issue if Thomas can't. And that was my goal. And you kind of like, oh, we told the church. And you sent Thomas, you cost me the second pay, you sent in Thomas to yell at me. Carson, what do you expect me to feel after all this? After all this thing, what do you expect me to feel? In return, I did nothing to start with. It could have, I told you, when that happened, the events, should the order be a little bit different, the events could have turned around really positively. Like, if you would not block me, if you would explain me back then what happened, what you've been through, I would be like, Carson, I'm sorry for just nagging you about working for you, man. In comparison to what you've been through, and I've been nagging for your work. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to. I didn't know what happened. I can't read your mind. I didn't know what happened. I would be there for you, man. I would not even mention work until you fully recovered. So, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about here, okay? So, I'm asking you still, Carson. I'm asking you still. Give me a call. Unblock me on Instagram. Give me a call, or Facebook, or whatever. Give me a call. We can talk things over. We can resolve the problem like Christian brothers. If you're Christian, give me a call. Peace.